Crikey, that's nice.
Crikey, that's nice. That's real nice.
Welcome to Oops, I said it wrong. Okay. Welcome to Bwitch, Soak.
Where we overshare so you don't have to.
So you don't have to, because we're good at oversharing. This is our first episode. My name is Jamie. This is my best friend, Mallory. We've known each other since we were 10 years old. We decided to make a podcast. Mallory, why did we decide to make a podcast?
Well, we're pretty funny, and, I think that a lot of people could think, oh, I'm funny, but we have good, banter, even if we've heard the story before. And we just know each other so well, and we always text each other throughout the day that we thought we should share with people who may have, similar experiences and really glean from ours and all that, so.
We are each other's platonic wives.
Yes, yeah. That helps too.
We know everything about each other, so it's actually kind of a struggle to find questions to ask you because I already know everything about you. Yeah, we just wanted to make a podcast because you know what? There's nothing better to do, and it's fun. So here we are.
Side hustle.
Side hustles, because to survive in America, you have to have 4 streams of income now, and I have 0 at the moment. So who knows?
Hey, it's okay. Well, I do have a stream of income, and it almost feels like cheating almost because it's like the most money I've ever made, and I don't have to work a full 40 hours a week, and it's like decent money.
It's amazing.
Yeah,
you get to work from home. That's awesome.
Yeah, I mean I'll be really up and running here in a couple weeks because there's a lot of credentialing. So I'm a therapist. I'm a licensed clinical social worker and a licensed addiction counselor. I've mostly worked in nonprofits and community mental health settings or inpatient settings, but I'm trying to expand a little bit more. I'm doing crisis work still, but I'm trying to think of some private practice-y stuff, and Jamie and I have always talked about that. So I think we just both have an entrepreneurial vibe when we're together, where we try to lean into our craft, but also other strengths of ours.
We're constantly thinking of shit to do. I've been a massage therapist for a few years now, so it's actually not true that I have 0 streams of income. I do have a couple of clients coming next week. I decided working in a spa setting was terrible for my mental health, and it actually got me terminated. I never wanted to work in a spa. I always wanted to actually help people. And when you're working in a spa, you're more seen as like the help. And it's terrible. People tip badly, and it affects your self-esteem. Where you're like, well, shit, am I shitty at this job? Is it just them? And then you never see them again. The clients, the real bread and butter clients, are the ones that are like, hey, I have a chronic pain issue, and you're going to be the person to help me solve it. That's where I love massage therapy, and it's easier to do that when I work on my own, but working on my own is fucking hard. We're moms. We're single moms. We don't have time for that shit to market and stuff. And now we're starting another creative project of doing a podcast. Stuff,
it's supposed to be more fun than work, hopefully. So.
Yeah, it's supposed to be more fun than work. We'll see. But
yeah, it's hard to work in an environment that they're just grinding you and to the man, and we both deserve to do our craft in a way that actually does help people regularly versus just doing
it. And I stood up for my team, and I got fired by a brand new manager who really wanted to flex her power dick, I guess.
Her power
I don't know. That woman is a lot. She was a lot. And I'm glad to not be in it. What'd you say?
There's always bad bosses, and unfortunately, when you speak your mind, and at a certain point, they'll not value your labor as much, and they'll just, cut you loose.
It's true. You never get, or what's the saying? No good deed goes unpunished. That I learned that lesson really hard this year. We've had a hell of a year, and I think that's part of why we started a podcast, to just kind of bring it back a little bit, is because I think our experiences are very relatable to a lot of people. We're both single moms. We both have horrible baby daddies, and that situation is a lot. And, when you have, even if it's just a podcast and you're not actually friends with the people who are talking, just being able to relate to them is really helpful, where you're like, okay, so I'm not the only one going through this kind of madness, and it's helpful hearing their perspective on things. And we're going to talk about a lot of stuff. We're going to talk about astrology and, of course, being parents and moms to young kids and jobs and narcissism and things that are just interesting to us, like the history of, again, I don't know, whatever. So here we are, just kind of putting it all
And
out
we
there.
want guests. We want guests on the show.
And we
Our
want guests.
friends.
We really
Our
want guests.
community.
All the friends are so excited for us.
Yeah. But our first, like, I want, like Erin, for example, we want her. She said she would love to talk about the houses in astrology, because I'm barely scratching the surface on that. And I feel like
Right.
I've been really deeply in researching astrology for a couple of years now. And
I need somebody to explain the houses to me, because I keep coming across these videos, these creators, where they say, okay, let's talk about your 12th house. And it means blah, blah, blah. And if it's in this, then it means this. If it means it, but like I'm a why person. I need to know why like that. I don't know what the
yeah,
12th house is. I don't know what it means. I know that's where my Jupiter is, and it's in Cancer. So if anybody can fucking answer that question for me and what that means, because Google just said it means I have a guardian angel. Okay, I don't know what that means. So just somebody needs to explain it to me and why it is that way.
I guess the why I haven't fully gotten there yet, but we basically have a placement each, it's in a row, each house. So we have some elements of every sign through our houses. And I think our first house is our rising sign, which is our obviously that's our huge placement in our chart. Like basically our rising is our destiny path, like traits that people feel and witness and experience when you show up and meet them. That's what your
Wow.
rising sign is. And so mine's Libra. And so people see me as diplomatic and relationship oriented, and I value fairness and things like that. And also, it's an air sign, so you're charming and you're fun and you laugh a lot.
You're
So how
charming
would
and
you
fun.
feel?
You laugh a lot.
Yeah.
I've been
Well, I
I'm
mean,
just a mine's Leo, so I'm just a big moody cat, I think, is all it is.
no, Leo is that's what I've been trying to explain. So I have an old colleague who she's two very strong placements of Leo in her chart, and she just went through a really horrible breakup. She's having a really rough time, and I'm telling her, "You're a lion. Think of yourself as a lioness." And she's like, "What do you mean?" I'm like, "What do you think a lion embodies?" So that's what you have to think about. You are the most entrancing person in the room, and you're warm and engaging and vivacious. I feel like that's a Leo, and that's where my Venus and Mars and Jupiter are all in Leo. So I have a lot of Leo too, but
You do have
yours
a lot
is
of Leo.
well. So that's what people see. So people see you as a fiery, spirited person.
Well, I'm finally getting the hair down, I think. I just wish it were bigger. I need big hair, I think, is what it is. Ooh,
Well, I
should
feel
we
like
explain why we call it Bwitch soak? Go ahead.
I'm sorry. Well, so it was mostly your idea to call it. You're good with naming things, so you said bitch soap because we would just bitch in a hot tub about things. And we thought it'd be hilarious, but then we realized having a curse word in the title would be a barrier to just sharing online in general. So we put the witch in there, bewitch, to kind of be a play on our witchiness, which will be a heavily big part of our as well.
Yes,
So.
absolutely. We're witchy bitches. It's what we do. The original idea was a joke because we have been desperately trying to go to a hot spring or just a hot tub together for like a year and a half, and it never fucking works out. And that's what we would do. We would find a hot tub and we'd bitch about our lives, and then we'd heal in the hot springs and we'd go home. It's not happening. So for all intents and purposes, just pretend we're in a hot tub right now. And we joked about putting it like a live stream on it with our tits out so that
Yeah.
we could start making money just bitching about stuff.
I mean, we should. I mean, I feel like we should try to do a special episode in the hot tub.
I think our first live stream should be in a hot tub.
Well, we did a year and a half ago for our birthdays. Remember, we went to Horse Tube and we stayed at that place and did the hot tub. It was a year and a half ago. It was the last time we did that.
Yep. And there's an actual hot tub there, so that was the birth of the idea, I think.
Yep.
Is that place up the canyon, and it did have a hot tub. And then we tried to go to Saratoga, and the entire town was out of power.
That was a crazy trip. Like, it wasn't just the town, it was like the region was out of power. So there was no electricity for miles. We were like, we felt it when we even crossed the border into Wyoming. Like, we were in ancestral times and ancestral lands. Time wasn't real. Like, it was. What's
we
that?
found that bar that was still open.
Yeah, they all had their headlamps on.
And we got hit on by those two old dudes. And the one guy was like trying to be impressive, being like, well, I graduated from high school or something. We're like, cool.
No, I think the biggest thing was we walked in and you're tall, you're wearing like a leather jacket, and everyone literally in the entire bar stopped talking and looked at us as we walked in.
It was really weird. We're Wyoming 10s, bro.
Yeah, and they didn't. I mean, they could tell we weren't from there. You know, like
yeah, we were with our witchy boho. I don't know. Well, I was dressed as a Scorpio that day. Really.
Yeah, you were.
I was Cancer in a leather jacket.
Yeah. They would have known you were a Scorpio, possibly. If you did.
Such a fun trip, though.
It was, and so we got a bunch of candles, and it was pretty cool.
We had to drive like 40 miles to go to a Walmart and figure out what we were going to eat.
So we made sandwiches. We bought beer.
We made sandwiches, and we bought those little puck light things and a bunch of candles. That was really fun. It's very romantic. We have a lot of romantic dates together.
But the thing is, we just summon demons instead. Just kidding.
Yeah, we just summon demons, for shits and giggles. Why not?
No, we did. Remember, I remember this clearly. We microdosed on some psilocybin, and I remember looking at my phone right when we were done, like laughing and talking and hanging out with the candles, and it turned from it was 1:59 to 1 a.m. because it was a
right.
time change.
It was also the time change.
So yeah, it was so weird. It was trippy. Without
it, bro. Time isn't real, bro. Okay.
Yep. Oh,
we call it Bwitch though, because we're bitches who are witchy, and we would be soaking for all intents and purposes because we're water babies and we love it.
Yeah, we're both Cancers. I don't know if we've officially said that out loud to
Cancers.
We're Cancers. So Jamie is like exactly 51 weeks older than me because I'm July 3rd and she's July 10th, but was born the year prior. So 52 weeks in a year. She's 51 weeks older than me.
And we met in 5th grade.
Yep.
Because cutoff dates were weird where I grew up. So at least that's the story my parents tell me. Either that or I failed my first year of preschool. So I was always the oldest in the grade and you were the youngest. But we were in the same grade.
I don't think you could fail preschool. I think your mom.
I think you could fail preschool.
I think that's a lie. I think that's like my sister-in-law saying, "Oh, I forgot to sign up my son for kindergarten," and I'm like, "I don't think you
What do you forget
forgot.
to do that? You don't
You
forget
don't.
that.
You don't forget that." She did it on purpose. She intentionally didn't put him in kindergarten because she knows that he is,
And that's all we'll
and
say
she,
about it.
yeah, and
Oh,
I think she's also afraid of public school because Target has, rainbows on T-shirts. I think she's upset about that.
does
So
she just not like gay people?
it's weird because it's like not a direct thing. So she'll have a problem with gay people existing, but then ask me about my sexuality, like with genuine curiosity. But she's not concerned for the fact that her husband works for an organization that's selling, weapons to Israel to bomb children. So there's that.
Yeah, that's fine
That's
because
fine.
that doesn't directly affect her. But God forbid her kid have a teacher that's gay.
Yeah,
And then
right.
they're the same people that want to give teachers guns. So that's all I'm going to say about that. If I'm going to go on a soapbox.
That would be kind of cool though if a shooting happened and your teacher pulls out a fucking gun.
Hopefully they're just not shooting me. That's really all I care about is not
I'd
getting
imagine
shot.
that.
Welcome to America. I don't want to get shot.
But think about it. Like, imagine a
I'll bring
hot
a gun
teacher.
to Buckingham and call it good. I don't know.
Yeah, Bucky's is really dangerous.
I don't think Bucky's in Colorado is dangerous. Maybe a Bucky's in Texas if I were there
Yeah,
to have an abortion or something. But
get abortions at Bucky's.
you can get abortions at Bucky's now.
I didn't
You
know
heard it
that.
here, folks. Abortions at Bucky's. Gas
No, they
station.
actually. I had a.
I want
Oh,
to get
sorry. Go.
screwed. You can't do that.
No, I had a client once. Literally, she had a mental health crisis. She worked at Bucky's. She was driving to Bucky's to go to work, and she got into a car accident. And then, like, the ambulance got there, and she's like freaking the fuck out, having a panic attack. She's like, "I can't be fucking late. I can't be fucking late." And they took her to the hospital because she was like having a panic attack. And she was, because she said that if you, I guess people at Bucky's, they rule with an iron fist. If you're like a minute late, you're fucking fired.
You
Uh,
guys, it's a gas station.
yeah,
It's a
it's
gas
crazy.
station with a beaver that looks like a Nazi. Like,
Hmm.
that's all it is. It's a big fucking gas station. It's not that cool. I've had people that are obsessed with it. I get it. Do your thing. But Bucky's is exactly why capitalism shouldn't go as far as it's gone. We don't
Well,
need it. We
it's
don't
probably
need
run
it.
by
We don't need a one-stop shop where you can fill up your fucking 90-gallon brodozer at the same time that you can buy a onesie for your baby and come home with 12 pounds of fucking brisket. That isn't even that good, you guys. It's not even that good. It's
You're
fine.
gonna have some people mad in the chat. Some people swear by Bucky's, but it is
I
probably
don't
run by
care.
men.
Fucking
Like,
go outside and touch some grass. You don't need to do everything.
well, that's what's so weird when you go to like eastern Nebraska. Remember I went to that place. What was it called? Like Dick Hard or something weird. No, what was it? Uh, it's their slogan was "Girth Matters." You remember that shit? Fat Dogs. That place was called Fat Dogs. And I bought a T-shirt from there because it was hilarious because it said "Girth Matters." That was their slogan, and I'm like, honestly, fair. Like that's true. Girth does matter. But
Okay,
you
that
could
makes sense.
literally no, you could literally buy meth pipes there, guns, knives, and there was like it was like also like had some casino machines in there too.
Wow.
Like little that place
See,
was fucking crazy.
that's the pinnacle of America right now. Like, guns and butts and beer and
Meth pipe.
sometimes you just need somewhere to put gas in your car and buy candy and purchase a gun. You know?
I could have purchased a gun. I've barely shot one time, and I could have just bought a gun. Isn't that wild?
Yeah, you can go to Walmart and get one. They don't even
What
add
would I
gas
do?
or anything. They're like, all right, here you go.
But no, I was imagining fat dogs. I was imagining though, like if you're, imagine your hot teacher in like high school, guy or girl, doesn't matter. Hot teacher, and imagine if a school shooter came and they whipped out a gun, you'd be like, oh hey, that'd be kind of hot. Like Andrew Lincoln in fucking Walking Dead, like he's hot, and it's
Um,
partially because he knows how to wield a weapon.
I'm terrified and I'm turned on, which
Exactly.
is
Yeah.
great.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, though,
Andrew Lincoln, though, I've been watching The Walking Dead lately,
he's
and
hot.
we're
He's
almost,
really,
you guys, I'm almost to when Negan comes in. I'm so excited.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, he's such a psychopath. Fuck that
You
guy.
should be him for Halloween.
Oh,
You should
God.
seriously be him for Halloween. Like you would be a perfect, like with
He's
your leather jacket and shit. You can embody
but
Negan.
I just need the baseball bat with the nails in it.
So
It's
I
gonna be
think
great.
I think it's what's funny is I realize, like with Nick Offerman and Negan, like we're basically into hot dude versions of ourselves. But like women do. Although usually
Women I typically am attracted to are not femme, and I
yeah,
usually am femme presenting.
I like a really you like are more into the androgynous look, which I love, but I think I lean more towards liking femme presenting women. Typically, I mean, with my history, I don't have much of a history.
I have no history, but I do know who I'm attracted to. Well, I
Yeah.
have history that's not going to end up on the podcast, but I'll say that.
Oh yeah, probably good call.
Yeah,
You,
I don't want to
you
embarrass
just,
anybody.
well, you could just say I ate out one of my closest friends in high school, or no, that wasn't high
Yeah,
school.
now we barely talk. It's great. It's not great.
But it wasn't a gay situation, apparently.
And that's also not why we don't talk as much anymore. But
No, I mean, you guys actually always hit it off every time we hang out, more than her and I hit off.
true.
So maybe it's that
We're
she
secret
remembers that.
soulmates. She just doesn't know it.
What's that?
We're secret soulmates. She just doesn't know it.
Maybe she because there was a time she was
She's a
saying,
Scorpio.
yeah, and there was a time she was saying like, I think it's too trendy for people to be gay, and I was like, well,
What do you
I
mean
mean, I'm not.
trendy? I think it's
I
just
mean,
we've always had this many gay people, and it's just more socially acceptable to be gay. So it
right.
seems like there are more gay people, but really there's not. There's just more out gay people.
Well, just socially, we are expected to be a certain way, and so you assume when you're like a little girl, for example, oh, I have crushes on boys because that's what we're told that's normal. So if it
Mm-hmm.
adheres anywhere outside of that, then we get so it takes more space to really explore that, and that would explain why you and I were late bloomers in that.
Makes a lot of sense. I think my first real girl crush didn't happen until my 30s, but
Oh,
like
that's a fun thing we could share. What your first girl crush? I could tell you
so
mine.
well, okay, so I had several happen at the same time, right? But
All at
growing
once.
up, it was like the more kind of androgynous men, like Billy Joe Armstrong of Green Day. He's not
He,
gay.
he's kind of looks
He's
like a
pretty
lesbian.
vocal. He's like a lesbian in a man's body, you know. In like he's been like he's not like yeah I'm a bi man, but he sings about it. His wife, my God, huh, holy shit! Could you imagine getting to like with both of them? Like
I would have a threesome with them. I wouldn't hesitate. And like people think I'm
no,
joking, but like no, I'm not fucking kidding. I would do it today. It doesn't matter. Like
fucking
if
right
they
now.
hit me up and said, "Would you?" I'm the same. Like literally, if the lead singer of my favorite band did not hide the fact that he found me attractive and then somehow prepositioned me in the future, I would not hesitate. Doesn't matter if I'm married, doesn't matter what, I would absolutely, there wouldn't even be a question.
I would just deal with the consequences of the aftermath if presented with that situation, for sure.
Well, and hopefully I'm in a situation, ideally, where there would be that mutual understanding that would slide. Like, it happens, you know. Yeah, but I still love you, kind of like that would be my ideal situation. I am poly esque, not completely. I don't want to have like three boyfriends. That would be kind of fun, but it sounds like a lot. Or
I
like
mean,
a husband
why
and a
not?
wife would
Your
be kind
baby
of
daddy
fun.
already thinks you have 3 boyfriends.
He
It's
does.
in a
He put in,
document.
yeah, my baby daddy put in a legal document that he suspected I had 3 boyfriends and felt that was somehow relevant to a custody situation.
Yep.
I did not, for the record, I had 0 boyfriends. I was hooking up with one of my friends at the time, which, you know, my baby daddy was always suspicious of him, which I am going to give him credit. He doesn't totally have zero intuition. Like, he's not dumb.
He's just
I will,
paranoid.
I'm going to compliment my baby daddy and say he is not dumb,
He just
but
doesn't use his intelligence super wisely.
yes.
Put
And
it
then
that
it
way.
like it steeps a little in psychosis here and there, you know, paranoia, and delusions of grandeur, you know. But he's not dumb, and
Classic narcissism. Yeah.
I think he could tell when people wanted me, and it bothered him because his jealousy was like this, like.
Okay, they might want you though. You're fucking gorgeous.
Well,
like
it was rough.
like with my own baby daddy. Like we could have had it so good if you just stopped lying to me about everything. But what are you gonna do?
Well, you were too good for him. Even if he was like fine and wasn't doing his weird shit, none of us liked him. When we all met the jester,
He's fucking
nobody
annoying.
liked him. We and for good reason. We don't like him.
And I was like, yeah, but he's cute. And you guys are like, we don't care. And I was like, no, I'm gonna babysit with him. And you guys are like, okay, have fun with that. See you in 10 years when you're divorced.
That was actually probably yours and I's worst argument we ever had. Because
Probably.
when you told me you were pregnant and you were gonna like do the thing with him, and I was like, I basically told you should consider an abortion. I love your daughter; she's amazing. But I was like, I remember thinking like, don't lock yourself to this man; he sucks. And you know, we all have to figure it out. But
It's
she
okay. It forced me to grow up and grow into the person I needed to be.
exactly.
I think if I had chosen to abort, I mean, obviously I wouldn't have any kids now, but
Well, you
I
could
don't
have
think I would
maybe.
have been ahead in life. I don't think I would have made wiser choices. You know, I really truly think that this was the path I was supposed to take. Um, and in no way, shape, or form is that an anti-abortion claim. Every woman should choose. Let's make that clear. I just chose not.
And my story is similar. You know, the freedom and the right to choose includes choosing to keep your child regardless of
Yeah,
what's going on. I do believe our children were meant to exist. I do believe it all happened the way it was supposed to, and we learned from it. But it was tough because, you know, I was tying myself to my abuser as well. But Sully is like the beautiful like light of this earth, I swear. And you know, Lily, should we say our own children's names? I didn't think about it.
I think it's okay. Just
I
their
think it's
first
okay.
name. Yeah, I think it's fine.
Yeah,
Because
I
both of
didn't
our
think about
children
that.
have different last names than we do. So I think as long as we just stick to their first names, they'll be fine.
That's true. They do. That's true. But I'm ostracizing him from his own last name, even though it's on his backpack and his fucking name tag and shit.
I thought of a funny joke, but I don't want to say it because it involves his last name. So I'll tell you later.
That sounds well. So we could go into our little what is it? Personal update.
Personal update.
Yeah,
I also
because I should I tell my
wait.
2 cute stories here?
Yes, tell your stories. I've been sick and not feeling well, and my go-to method of dealing with not feeling well is to just smoke weed about it. And the girls aren't here, so fuck it.
Like, so do you mean like physically not feeling well, or also emotionally?
Physically.
That makes sense. I had to stop smoking for a few days too, and it worked out. Okay, I'm ready to tell my story. Well, so the first one's pretty fun. So one of my brother's childhood friends, you've probably met him. Did I tell you this? Came to our Thanksgiving. I haven't seen him in 5 years, maybe. And he basically said this was. He told the story to everybody. Actually, he was about to just tell me and Mitchell, but then the whole room suddenly became quiet. And then he tells like the entire room, and everyone's just laughing hysterically. But so Mitchell met him. They were probably 15 years old, so I was 20. I was probably moved out of the house at that. I was moved out of the house at that point, visiting, I guess. Mitchell said his friend was like, "I'm coming over." And Mitchell was like, "Oh, my sister could be kind of a lot." And apparently, his very first impression of me was saying, "Shut the fuck up, mom, or I'm gonna shit in your mouth." Like I said that to my mom as a 20-year-old, and it sounds true. But like, holy shit! And that was his first impression of me.
Oh shit, that's nice.
And so my brother's partner was like, "Wait, you said this as a 20-year-old? That's crazy!" And she started like laughing hysterically. And it's like, oh my god, was I really like that at 20? Like,
But yeah,
oh
you and me both, girl.
well, and I would say stuff like that to my mom because she'd be, being ridiculous about something. So I would say something forceful and ridiculous to throw her off. It's like, obviously, I'm not going to shit in my own mouth.
That's nice, Mallory. That's nice.
She's like, yeah, I know, I can't, there's things she still does that she doesn't like, but I think she thinks I'm kind of funny sometimes now. Well, no, and this wasn't funny. Well, maybe it is. I don't know, but I'm curious to hear your thoughts on it. So right when I was about to take Zuko out, I texted you just this morning, and then I texted Mr. Music, and I just said we're gonna do some podcast stuff today because he was like encouraging us to like lean into that with some of this, just the weird shit going on globally and socially and all the things and in our own lives. And I walk out, and then he's like turning the corner. He's literally outside, turning the corner, walking to work. Mr. Music.
He was outside?
He was outside my house. Like, I walk out, and he turns the corner from the street, like across the street.
Stalking you? What the fuck?
No, he takes public transportation, and there's a bus stop over there.
Oh, okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah, sometimes he takes it because it saves money, on gas. He's like, he has an electric car because he wants to, and he doesn't eat as much meat because he wants to be, globally conscious. But like, it was just funny because he did choose to walk down my street. Yes, his job is like 2 blocks from my house, but it was like he was right there, and then he rushed across the street and gave me a hug. It was nice.
Aw, that is nice.
But it was just like an unexpected and just weird timing, like the fact that
I need to meet him. I need to meet this guy. The Mr. Music, for anybody wondering, is an ex-coworker of Mallory's. They've had sexual tension, and there are reasons why nothing has happened yet. But it's gonna get there. gonna get there. I haven't met him yet. I'm very excited.
Well, because like we said, you're the final boss. Like he was gonna meet my brother the other like last week, and you know that didn't work out. Like he came, but my brother didn't fall through. Uh, but he knows you're the final boss. Like he'd probably meet my parents and not be that stressed about it.
Well, yeah, meeting the best friend is the modern equivalent of meeting the parents, I think.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I don't know. It's just nice that I started my day unexpectedly seeing him outside. And he comes and gives me a hug. And also, like Zuko never barks at him, ever. It's so weird. Like you know how Zuko is. He barks at pretty much anyone all the time unless he really knows you.
He barks
And
at me.
even when he first met him,
Something about it.
yeah, I was like, it. So was like, that's he didn't make. He was like trying to. Oh, I just said his name, Mr. Music. Uh, he was like, oh, like trying to downplay. I was like, no, you're in the good column, and my dog is a little weird sometimes. So this is a
Zuko's so
compliment.
cute. I love Zuko. He's been
He's
getting
silly.
extra love with me since Rocco passed. That's for sure.
Yeah, if you ever need me to like drop him off if I'm ever doing something that can't involve him, he could be like a
Yeah,
babysitter. Get your
anytime.
dog
I love
away.
Zuko. He's such a good boy.
He is.
So,
He
what
is.
are
He's
you drinking, smoking, eating this week or today during recording?
well. Right now, I'm drinking coffee. I probably will make a little bit more. And I also have. I'm a person of many beverages. It's my go-to. Like on Christmas, I had my mulled wine, my Guinness, and another random beverage going around. Like my brother and his girlfriend made some like delicious punch for Christmas too.
Ooh.
So I was very spoiled this week. If I lived like in a setting where I could have access to my community and my family living in my space, that's why I want a mom here. And but someone who's really good at cooking, like cooking food for all of us all the time. It was just so nice. Um, it was
I
so
love
nice. It
cooking
was
for
good
people.
ass food, and it was all vegan. We ate vegan the entire time, and nobody fucking noticed.
Yeah. Okay, but your brother knocks it out of the park every time. Like,
Yeah.
if he could be my personal chef, I would hire him.
So he has a fancy like job now at this French restaurant. He's just the bartender, but you know, he's learning to cook more stuff at home. But he's never professionally cooked, but he cooks for his friends all the time. But he's now at a French restaurant that's like Michelin star, like on the road to a Michelin star kind of status. You know what I mean?
Wow. That's
Yeah,
good
we
for
gotta go.
him. That's awesome.
And he gave me new recommendations. I told you for him and his girlfriend gave me recommendations for the bars to go in Denver because we need to be with the elder gays. I'm sorry, I just don't want to listen to fucking house music with furries, like 23-year-old furries. No offense, I'm just not a furry or 23. So I just want
You know,
that for the record.
like, I don't find furry uh, stuff to be off putting, really. It's a realm I'm not in. But hanging out in that environment as someone who's like 14 years older than everyone else, it's a little off putting for that. Where you're just like, I don't fucking belong here. This is not
That
my
music
scene.
was really bad.
And the music was terrible. I'm sorry. Even for like EDM, it was terrible. I'm sorry.
It wasn't
Um,
EDM. It was like something else, like a brand of like I think it was
it,
house music.
it was just annoying and loud, and I'm not that person. Like, if I'm gonna go out and drink somewhere, I'm only gonna go to that place. I want it to be a vibe, either really chill music or a live something, like a live band that's just in the background. So I want to be able to hear my group still talking without
Exactly.
screaming. Like, I'm not 20 anymore. I can't go out and do a bunch of Molly and scream at somebody on stage and have a good time. Now, if I do that, I'm going to be hungover for a week. I'm a mom. I can't do that.
I don't think you've ever really done Molly.
I've never done Molly, but you know what I mean.
I hear.
Away from uppers.
Yeah, I mean, you'd probably have fun, but
Oh, I'd have a fucking blast, and I'd never come back.
so I did do okay. So I did Molly one time with your ex-husband, and it was fucking
Mm-hmm.
awful.
You were
I
so
don't.
mad the next day
Well, it's
because you
because
wouldn't
all my
shut up.
serotonin was gone, and he wouldn't shut up. He like ruined it, and it was also with our friend's ex-boyfriend who eventually died of a fentanyl overdose. You just knew he was on that like drug path. It was
What was
not
his
good.
name? Sean.
Yeah. May
Yeah.
he rest in peace. He was a really nice guy. His demons were not able to be overcome.
Yeah.
Um, and yeah, it was very sad. But then the next time I did, well, apparently it was wow, MDMA mixed with psilocybin, and that's when I solidified my identity as a moon slut.
As a moon
So,
slut, which we will get to the moon slut segment at some point in this podcast.
but yeah, no wonder that happened, Jamie. We were like buzzing, listening to music. That's the full strawberry moon, and we
My ex-husband was like, wait a minute.
no, not
Yeah,
then.
I mean, well, that's not true. Back then, he was fun. He was really fun back then. Now
Well, yeah.
he's just he's a piece of carpet, is what he is now. He's
Well,
just there.
what is a mortal goddess? That's it. That's how she fell in love with her husband. Was a coke love, unfortunately.
Yeah.
God,
Well,
can
I'm
you
just
imagine?
drinking water. I just had this was coffee. I might make more. I can't decide. Um, I signed up to do DoorDash today, so I'm gonna do that for the first time today. That's
Wait,
fun.
really?
Yeah.
You go deliver some
To
food?
deliver some food, I guess. I'm gonna make my boyfriend come with me.
Good.
Um,
Your
to get him
partner? You want to say that?
my partner. I'm gonna make him come with. So I'm not smoking anything today. So I can be sober for that. Drinking water. When I'm sick, I'm like, well, I'm not sick anymore. I'm getting over being sick. So my throat's a little froggy. I know some people get really upset when a host has like a thick voice or like vocal fry or whatever. So I apologize to those people. This is the best I can do today. We really wanted to record and we're doing it.
Well, because
If you don't like
yesterday,
it, then go to the second episode, I guess.
yesterday your voice wasn't doing too hot. I've had my throat cough thing, but it's almost gone. I could tell. It's just
My voice wasn't completely gone yesterday, but it was enough to where it was just okay. I'm not going to be able to hold up a conversation for longer than 20 minutes.
makes sense. You
So
needed to
I've
rest
been playing Fallout and learning about mods for that.
for
Mod.
Fallout. You're a
Yeah,
video
so
game
in
nerd.
Fallout 4, you have the ability to like build a settlement. Do you know anything about the Fallout universe?
My brother played Fallout 3 a lot, I believe.
Is that New Vegas? I don't remember.
I think
I'm
so.
kind of
I
new
don't
to
know.
Fallout. My brother is obsessed. So anyway, I started playing Fallout 4 yesterday, or not yesterday. I was playing Fallout 4 all day yesterday. Fallout is basically it takes place, at least this game takes place 200 years after nuclear war. There were people who lived in the vaults. There were people who didn't live in vaults that survived the war, and now you have like basically zombie people or whatever, and like mutated creatures, and everybody's living in squalor still. But anyway, this game gives you the ability to build settlements. What I didn't know is that the build for this game, like the whole mechanic for it, is absolute fucking garbage. So, you know how in The Sims, you can just go into build mode and build your little houses and put
I
the
did
people
that.
in them and do the thing. And that's fine. This is not that. you have to go in and you can put anything anywhere, but then anything after that will snap to that first thing. So if the first thing you put down isn't on an accurate grid, your whole building is going to be fucked up.
That
And then
sounds
on
terrible.
top of that, you have to tell people where to sleep, where to work, what to do. I'm like, I don't want to be all of these people's fucking mother and just keep telling all these people what to do. I don't want them coming up to me and being like, oh, I have a job, what do I do? Fucking figure it out yourself. You're a person, go do it. But they're NPCs, so you can't just do that. So anyway, I finally found a mod that eliminates that, and you can just like zone it out and be like, okay, you people go do this and you people go do that. And I'll be back when I finish my next mission, and half of you won't be dead now because it's stupid. It's stupid the way
haven't
they
played
did
a
it.
video game like that in a really long time. It's just interesting.
I love them. It's the same kind of like story game like Red Dead Redemption, where it has
I
like
would
a
have,
main storyline, and then you have like the quests on the outside that you could do, or you can stay here and like build stuff. Fallout 4 is the first one where you can actually build a settlement, so people were excited about it. This game came out forever ago, by the way.
I
This
didn't
is
realize
my
that.
first time playing it. Excuse me, sorry. I am viscerally offended by Bethesda's um, lack of caring with their build mode, because everyone who grew up with The Sims is like, fuck yeah, now I can build
Oh,
a
yeah.
settlement in this like post-apocalyptic thing and like build a little town like SimCity it. No, they made it fucking clunky and shitty, and I'm upset that it is this way. But my boyfriend showed me like the whole mod website that he would use, and so I was like getting into that, and that's what I did all day.
Nerds.
But now
You
I'm
guys
feeling
are a couple
better.
of them.
I'm still stuffy, but I'm feeling better, and I'm gonna try being a door dasher today, so that's exciting. And then I
Remember
have a
when we
client
did The
coming
Sims
tomorrow.
together?
Huh?
Remember when we did The Sims together?
We did, and we would torture people.
Yeah, we would build people we didn't like in our class and put them in a house and trap them in the bathroom. Why would we do that? That's kind of weird.
I don't know, I think it's pretty common. You'd stick them in the swimming pool and remove the ladders so they can get out.
Yeah,
Starve
why
them.
is that like weird mini torture scenarios in our brains help us get it through like
Maybe, I
prepubescent?
don't know. I've definitely like built a basement full of slave labor just so that I could keep money flowing in without using cheats.
Nice, Jamie, you're a true capitalist.
Thank you. I am not a benevolent god. Fuck all of you. You're gonna cheat on everyone. No one's gonna love you. No one has a best friend. You're all here to make money and fuck. That was my Sims.
Hey, at least they're fucking.
At least I fuck it.
Oh man, I'm sorry I interrupted you while you were talking about stuff about what you're doing.
No, I got sidetracked with video games that no one cares about.
Some people like. It's so. I just haven't done that in so long.
Gamer girls are a thing. My
You
fellow
are your
game
gamer girl. I'm not a gamer girl, but it's cute that you are. You know.
good at video games. Like I just enjoy them. You know, I'm not there to compete with anybody. I don't like games like Call of Duty where it's just a point and shoot and you're like playing with other people online. I don't particularly enjoy that. Because men suck, unfortunately. That's just kind of the truth of it. Is you go online, it could be a game that you fucking love, and you go online and a bunch of fucking dudes ruin it for you. I learned my lesson with Red Dead Online because I'm just like, here I am, just like this 30-something mom, and I want to ride horses and do cute little missions with my cute little braid and my hat. And then you have these 14-year-old dudes who come in here who are just have mods out the ass, and they come up and they blow you up and teabag you, and then they go, yay! And you're like, dude, I just want to have a good time, and you're ruining it. And now I can't play. They make it completely unplayable. It sucks. Men ruin everything. And then you're like, dude, why'd you do that? And they're like, go make me a sandwich about it. Women belong in the kitchen. I'm like, fuck
That's so
you, dude.
stupid.
Leave me alone. You don't know me. How
Just
about you
leave
go
me
make
alone.
me a fucking sandwich? Shit.
I mean, I could make them a sandwich, but they wouldn't like it.
It's gonna be a shit sandwich
It'll-
smashed in their face. That's about it.
oh my god. No, remember that my baby daddy loves he's the Joker. He loves to yell at those type of kids online while playing Call of Duty, calling them
Yeah.
like the F word and
Your baby
you know.
daddy is why people like me don't like to play video games with them.
Well, he gets mad at the people that you're mad at, but then he actually gets mad and calls them names. Like he's a 34-year-old man is insulting 14-year-olds, calling them the F word. Like that gave me the ick so bad. So bad.
Ew.
Yeah.
Ew. My baby daddy doesn't really play video games. At least he didn't when we were together.
Yeah.
Because he said they were too addictive, and he didn't ever want to play games with me. But then when I left, he started playing like Baldur's Gate, and which is like a D&D game.
Too addictive, where he's
It's
already
great.
doing it.
Baldur's Gate is great. You just have to have the mindset for it. 'Cause it's very layered. Um, I couldn't get through it because I got bored. But
If it's too complicated, I do lose interest.
yeah, same. Like, I really do enjoy story-rich games. That's why Fallout's pretty good. And Red Dead, they're great. The story.
I like watching people play video games because I watched my brothers play video games growing up. So there's lots of fond memories for me tied to video games. Not necessarily playing them unless it's like Super Smash Bros. Or like Mario Kart, and because like I actually played with before my brother moved to San Diego. We all played just before he moved, and I like kicked his ass at Mario Kart. He was like, "You just have like a fucking like weird, strong memory of how to like play this super well." Still, like he was like making fun of me about
It's
it. It was
true, though. Oh my god, we used to
so
play.
he goes to video game competitions. He's won money. I think it was for Halo.
Really?
Like
Wow.
yeah, like the old Halos. He's like really good at.
Halo! That's such a good game. I used to play that with my brother. And you
I
and me,
remember
we
that.
used to play Super Smash and Pokemon, and there's
Pokemon
something else.
Stadium was a great.
Pokemon Stadium was awesome. Oh, Mario Party. Play Mario Party.
Yep,
Oh, Grand Theft
all the Mario.
Auto. Grand Theft Auto.
Vice
And
City
we
was
do
my
the missions
favorite.
in
I
Grand
played
Theft.
a lot of Vice City.
A lot of
What's
Vice
that?
City.
Yeah.
And we never do the missions. We just run around and kill people.
And then in San Andreas, I would make him run around in his underwear and kill people with a chainsaw. 'Cause
How are you calling me psycho for my slave labor sweatshop in my Sims basement?
that's too calculated. I was just being ridiculous.
I'm
You know
not a
what I
nice
mean?
god.
There's a difference. I was being ridiculous, yes, murdering people in a make believe land, but they're not real people. I think that's just what the billionaires think of us, honestly. That's what's creepy about it, is I think they actually think of us as like the Sims.
They do, though, because they're so far removed from common reality that it is just a game for them. You know, selling real estate and doing drugs and buying entire islands full of underage minors. You know, it's just a fucking game to them because they're essentially untouchable, and they know it.
There's nothing more evil than that. Like they need to be removed.
I had a client when I was still working in the spa who was married to a dude who had just, I mean, gobs of money. I don't know what this guy was worth, but her husband was genuinely a really nice person. I don't know what he did for a living. Anyway, she was my client, and she was half his age.
Wow.
I mean, she would come in there and be like, girl, I'm just so stressed after this week. Like, we just got back from Morocco, and God, the first class attendants were just so unattentive, and they gave me the wrong kind of wine, and the yacht sale is just not happening the way we need it to, so that we can get the condo in Florida, and like all
Wow.
this stuff. Like, I don't food stamps. I can't relate to you.
Yeah, I couldn't relate to that either.
Like,
Like,
you're talking about how your sisters are like getting their mommy makeover after they're done having kids, and like that's just typical for your family. And like, what do I say to that? You know, just maybe
you're
to
like, I was trying to have
therapy,
enough money to get
plastic
dinner all week.
surgery. I don't know.
No, yeah. It's hard to really, and you just, I think they should study more. I know they've studied it, but study more in depth of what having more money does to your brain. They need to
There
do that.
needs to be studies. Like, I think Oprah is such a good example of what money can do to somebody, because she was the true rags to riches story, right? You know, she was homeless or something at age 14, was raped, had an abortion or something. Like, she had a terrible childhood. I don't remember the
Yeah.
details, I'm probably wrong, but you know, and then she went into TV and ended up with her own show, and then she ended up
We
hawking
saw
these.
peak Oprah when we were kids. Like that was peak Oprah time for her. Like she was very famous. Oh,
America's tube, you know, just like, these are the experts. This is how you lose weight. Everybody gets a new car. Look how great I am. All this stuff. And now she's the monster who lives on a Hawaiian island that wouldn't let people escape fucking fire because they'd be using her road. Fuck
that's crazy.
you, bitch. Fuck
That's
you.
crazy.
Fuck you, Oprah. I hope you hear this. You're a bad
She's a
person.
Disney villain. She's turned into a Disney villain.
She's a bad person. And I know there's a lot of Swifties out there, and I know that Taylor Swift probably does donate lots of money, but she's
She's
still a fucking
still,
billionaire, and I
yes,
don't give a shit. If you're a billionaire, there shouldn't be any hunger or housing insecurity where you live.
and especially where it's getting worse too.
Be better. Use your fucking billions just like Elon Musk did to influence in a good way, but you can't because you have this billionaire brain now where you don't give a shit about anybody but yourself. Sorry.
You know,
Welcome to
I
my TED Talk. Fuck billionaires.
well no, and I think so. We were talking about the cap where billionaires shouldn't exist, but I think in order to happen, like I'm serious, we're guillotine, chop off everyone's head who's a billionaire. Doesn't matter. Taylor Swift, I don't give a shit. Like all of them. And my cousin even said, even Beyonce, I want her head to be rolling down. Like we got Beyonce, everyone in fucking Congress, everyone. Like sorry, world.
Beyonce, Kim Kardashian, Kanye West, Oprah, Elon, that other Amazon guy, what's his face? The bald guy.
Jeff Bezos.
Bezos. We don't need them. And they're
No,
like,
the
what?
best thing that ever
All
happened to
eight
Disney World was
billionaires that we have?
what's that?
They're all 8 billionaires that are in America, right? Or is Taylor
I have
Swift
no.
Canadian? I can't remember. I don't know.
Most of
I don't
them
know
are in
anything
the
about her.
U.S.
Huh?
Most are in the U.S. I think most are in the U.S. And then there's a couple like just all over the world, basically.
I think there's like less than 30 in the world.
But they own more than half the entire world's wealth.
Yeah, they are the 99%, and the rest of us are just fighting each other for scraps, being like, well, it's MAGA doing this and it's Democrats doing that. No, it's billionaires fucking your life up every time. It's billionaires.
Are you cleansing for the new year?
Just yeah, let's cleanse the space for at least this segment, because we're about to do moon slut and a tarot reading segment. And we always cleanse before we do a tarot reading, so I'm getting ahead of it. So claws up, claws down is a segment that we came up with where a listener will write in a story or will find a story online, and we're going to identify the red flags. The claws up means red flag. Claws down is either no flag or green flag, right? And since we don't have like listeners yet, this is our first episode. And since, we're both ADHD and don't plan things, I'm just going to tell a personal story of the worst date that I've ever been on. And Mallory is going to claws up because there's lots of claws up moments in this story where, like, I definitely should have noticed before it got this far.
Yeah. But you noticed. You did notice. You just kept going.
I was just ignoring them, I think. I need to think of a name for this guy. I'll call him
Taco. Don't we always call him just Taco Bell guy?
I just Taco Bell. So this is my Taco Bell story. I'm hoping that I don't leave out any details because they're important. And this is it just keeps getting worse, you guys. So back in my post-divorce phase, I was doing a lot of online dating, as you do when you're newly single, seeing what's out there. I met this guy actually on a dating website or a dating app for single parents, right? So I was like, cool, I can meet other singles who know what I'm going through, who are post-divorce, who have the custody thing. It makes sense. I don't remember the name of the app now, but I didn't have a single non-toxic conversation on that app, and so I wouldn't recommend it. But I can't remember the name, so it doesn't matter.
It was advertised
anyway, that's
to
where
me
we met. We started talking, and we had a total of 3 dates. So the first date, we met up in a place because he lived in a different town. And so we met up in a town halfway between for lunch and coffee or something. And up until this point, conversation was flowing. I mean, he was sending me long texts. He was getting deep with me. He was telling me personal stories. He was asking about me. He was interested. So up until this point, I really didn't see any red flags, right? So we get there.
He was putting his best self on for you.
He what?
He was putting his best self forward to engage with you initially.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Yeah.
So the first date, and get your claws ready. So the first date, we meet at this little coffee place or whatever just to get, coffee, obviously. And he brings me some homemade brownies that he made. Just to remind you, this is the first time I've met this person.
And he brought you something.
He's bringing me food that I didn't see prepared. Okay. And he didn't require that I ate it or anything, but it was a little
eat it, bitch! Eat it! Just
a little small thing of brownies. And I was like, oh, that's kind of nice. It's weird, but I didn't really think anything of it. And I didn't eat them. You what?
I would say that's it. Yeah, I thought it was kind of nice when you first told me about it, so I think it'd be yellow. I see, in hindsight, it could be weird, but it's what if they just like giving gifts like that to people? So it's a yellow.
Exactly. Second date, we meet up for lunch. We get Thai food, but I was on a lunch break at work, so I only had 45 minutes, and he didn't have a lot of time. So it was 2 shifts in the night kind of a thing. We met up. We had a decent conversation. I don't remember what we talked about. Whatever. It was fine. So at this point, there really weren't any red flags. So we get to the third date, and he's like, hey, this is when the real red flags start, you guys. We get to the third day, and he says, you mentioned murder mysteries are really fun, so I found a free one in like, it was kind of near Denver. I'll say that. It was kind of near Denver. Would you be interested in going? And I was like, yeah, that sounds great. So I meet him at a park and ride that's pretty much halfway in between. And the idea was that we would meet in this park and ride and then Uber together to this event. So we
That's
get
right. Yeah.
there, or I get there, I meet him. I was the first one there. I see him roll up. He gets out. We give each other a hug. And then he says, you know what? I think I'd really rather drive. And then you can drink and then I can just drive. And I was like, oh, I wasn't really planning on drinking. Sure.
And you know what?
So I agree. And in my brain at the time, again, none of it seemed super red flag. But now looking back, red flag.
That's why I did that. Like I don't know if on a third date I barely know. I would not want to drive in the car with them. That would make me so uncomfortable. But like
It
maybe
didn't
that's
make
me
me
being.
it didn't make me comfortable. But I was like, well, I've already been on a couple dates with this guy. Sure, it's not that far.
Yeah, that's fair.
So I get in the car, and he gets in, and the first thing he does is he says to me, I know you spent hours getting ready for this date, and I thought that you'd be
Ow.
hungry. So he reaches behind the passenger seat and pulls out this bag of Taco Bell.
Giant bag.
Not a small bag. And he just puts it on my lap.
Had
It's like, oh my
had
God,
weight
he's
to
this. Like 7 pounds of Taco Bell. And it was cold.
it.
So
Ew. Oh,
he
that is
hadn't
so
just
bad.
stopped at Taco Bell to get it. He has had that in his car for a while. And then was like,
Ew.
oh, maybe you want my leftovers.
That's disgusting. Like Taco Bell isn't even good hot. It's
We
terrible.
hadn't
I
even
haven't.
started the date yet. And we were planning on getting food after this event. So I was like,
Uh,
no, I'm good. I think I'll just wait until after and we can eat at the restaurant.
you want a warm grade F burrito or a cold, like barely warm, like you know what I mean?
Oh, Taco Bell. And it's funny because the Taco Bell part of the story is such a small part of it. And he's
But
a
it's the
Taco
Taco
Bell
Bell
guy.
story.
That's just how he ended up being. Like, I took a shower. I wasn't gross, but like, I didn't spend hours. Like, it was nice. I was dressed for a date. I had this like nice blue shirt on with like black pants, legging, whatever. I don't know. I looked nice. Anyway, so I lightly climbed Taco Bell, and we start on our way to the murder mystery that we were supposed to go to. Prior to this, he had said, I called the place to make sure of the details because it was supposed to be a free event for anybody, whatever. You didn't have to sign up, you just show up. He called ahead to make sure that he knew the details of this event before we went. So we get there, and it's in one of the it's in kind of a neighborhood where there's like a strip of retail space, and then behind it is like housing.
Yeah.
So we get there, and he parks in the neighborhood part of this area, which is important for labor. So he parks in the neighborhood area, and we start walking. And we're walking and we're talking, and then he stops me and he says, we're here. And I look, and we are at a children's bookstore.
Woo! A children's murder mystery
Okay.
bookstore.
It's at a children's bookstore, and he was like, yeah. I called ahead to make sure
He called.
this was the right place. So we go in,
Where did he find this
and
advertised? I don't get it.
I think it was advertised on Facebook. and that's
Okay.
where he saw it. So it's just like a free event. So we go in and we find one of the workers. All of the workers, this is never explained, all of the workers are dressed in like 40s attire. So with like the hair and the fedoras and the, you know, 3-piece whatever. This was never explained as to why they were dressed up this way. That's how they were dressed. And they say, "Oh yeah, you guys are here for the murder mystery. So, while we
That's
wait
so
for people
confusing.
to arrive, why don't you guys go out back where they're doing story time?" So we go out
What?
back, and it was summertime in Denver, so it is 90 fucking degrees outside. I am
It's
dressed for
hot
a
as shit.
date, and we sit down in the sun to listen to a man reading books to children. Like there are
That's so
children
weird.
gathered around listening, and the theme was actually pretty cool. It was banned books, so they were reading a book that had been banned to these children, and it was about gay penguins or whatever, and Martin Luther King or something. I wasn't paying a lot of attention because I was so uncomfortable with how hot it was. Say that again.
Said gay Martin Luther King penguin.
Gay Martin Luther King books. I don't know. It was banned in Texas somewhere. Whatever. So
That's
finally,
funny.
I mean, this goes on for like 45 minutes, and it's really fucking hot outside. And I'm wearing long, like tight skinny jeans and a shirt, and like I'm fucking sweating through my date attire because I expected this to be like a champagne event or something where we'd be inside
You're hanging out with
champagne
kids.
or
You're
something
just
because
hanging
he
out
had
with a
asked
bunch
me
of
about
kids.
drinking.
You wanted to get drunk with a bunch of kids at story time.
I don't want to get drunk with a bunch of kids. At some point, somebody walks out and is like, "Okay, we're going to start the murder mystery, but we need some volunteers." And of course, my J, Taco Bell man, is like, yeah, me, I
That's
want to
so
volunteer
weird.
to read the fucking script. So I'm like, okay, this
What?
isn't a real murder mystery. This is just people hanging out with their kids. That's all this is. But we don't have kids with us. We have kids, but they're not with us because this is
What?
supposed to be a fucking date,
That's
not a kid event. It's weird.
that's so weird.
So we go
That's really
inside,
weird.
and they had set up hors d'oeuvres and like food for people to eat. So we go in, and he immediately just starts shoving a bunch of shit in his face, just like 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 a fucking pig, bro. Like I'm like, we're going to a restaurant after this, so what the fuck? In hindsight, I think he was just broke, and that's why he picked the free event, was porking out on Taco Bell and free hors d'oeuvres, and then end of the story. Anyway, I think he was just broke and didn't want, or cheap or something. He didn't want to pay.
That's still too weird. Like you guys could do things for free that didn't involve children, you know.
It's weird. So he's like shoving
It
hors
was
d'oeuvres in
very
his
weird.
face, and so he has his little script. And like two other people, one of the children is part of it. I guess we'll just keep flags up. The children are part of it.
Like the whole
So they read through the script. I can't tell you what the murder mystery was because a 10-year-old solved it in about 3 minutes. So whatever. And that was that. That was the murder mystery. A 10-year-old solved it. I'm sweaty from being outside. He's full of hors d'oeuvres. Nothing fun has happened yet. The only cool thing was the author of one of the graphic novels was there signing books, and her graphic novel was about getting your period. And so it was banned in Texas because Texans can't believe that women have periods, God forbid.
what? Women have periods? That's fucked up.
And it's a cute little graphic novel. So I talked to the woman who made it. I had her sign it. I gave it to Lily for her birthday
Cute.
or something, like a signed copy of this novel, whatever. It was cool. That was the only cool thing that happened in this entire day. So afterwards, I am fucking starving because I have not been porking out on Taco Bell from earlier that day or yesterday or something, and fucking hors d'oeuvres that were free at this event. Like, I'm trying to,
What were
like,
the hors d'oeuvres?
crackers and fruit, and, like, I just remember he had a big piece of pineapple in his face, and he
Ew. So
was
he was like,
it was gross.
"Are you serious?"
I'm still, like, I have the ick, way beyond ick at this point.
Sorry. That's hilarious. I just like I can't believe he ate like that in front of you. Like that's rough.
It gets worse. It gets worse.
I know.
So
I
finally,
know.
it's done.
It gets
The murder mystery
worse.
is done. So we
Oh,
walk towards, we decide on a restaurant that's just down the street. It's like a Mexican food place. And at this point, I'm like, maybe it'll get better because we walk in. There's a live band. It's a good vibe in there. They're friendly. We're early for the dinner rush. So, we were able to get seated right away. They put chips in front of my face. I'm fucking thankful. I'm eating chips. I order a beer. Um, Waiter comes back and says, "Can we get some entrees going?" And he full on puts his arm in front of me and says, "Appetizers, good. We're going to share an appetizer." And I'm like, "Bitch, beer? You're going to make me share nachos with you? And then, like, I can't even get an entree when this was, like, the plan?" So that's why I think, like, maybe he was just broke and he was trying to figure out, like, a way to cut corners or something. He could have just been honest with me and been like, "Look, I can't afford a date. Maybe next week."
he could have saved the money on the Taco Bell too.
Anyway, every orders these nachos and he's eating them like a fucking barbarian. Like, I could see spit flying out. And at one point, a piece of chip left his face, and landed on my lap.
Ew. Are you serious? On your lap?
Lap. There.
Do you think he was trying
It's
doing
kind
this
of
on
funny that I'm
purpose?
coughing through all of
I
this.
feel like he has to be doing this on purpose. Like
I
that's
think, like,
ridiculous.
maybe. I don't know.
That's
Maybe it's saying
absolutely
to me. I don't know. And this is still not the worst
ridiculous.
part. This is still not the worst part.
But
Between the Taco Bell and the weird murder mystery and being forced to hang out with children, like, all of it. It's just so much of it. Just constant, like, crab claws up,
yeah,
you guys.
yeah.
And it's kind of ironic that I'm coughing through this whole thing because he kept coughing throughout this whole day. Coughing.
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
and so I asked him, I was like, "Are you just, like, seasonal allergies? Like, are you okay?" And all he said was Iraqi burn pit. You know what that means?
Iraqi burn pits. That's fucking hilarious.
Iraqi burn pits. It was like, okay. I knew he was in the
What?
military at one point, but he didn't
That's
explain it.
crazy.
He just said
So he's
Iraqi burn
basically
pit.
like, so were they burned bodies? Is that what he means? Like, that's creepy. That
Bodies.
was kind of
What does that
shit.
mean?
What was that?
What does that mean?
Iraqi burn pits. That was my favorite
You know
part.
what
I
I mean?
always forget about it. I always forget about that, but that's my favorite part. Because it's weird. It's so weird. Like,
So,
all of it.
just to recap, we're in the restaurant. He won't let me order an entree. He spits nacho onto my body. So, fix my beer quickly, and I excuse myself to the bathroom. And in there, I'm looking at the mirror, and I'm like, I gotta go. And he's driving me back to my car.
That's
So I get out there, and I was like, "You about ready to go?" And he's like, "Yeah, I paid." So we're walking out. Let me remind you that he parks in the neighborhood part of this area. Well, it's dark now because the sun had set, and it is dark as fuck in the neighborhood. There's like one street light, maybe.
Geez, that's creepy.
So we're walking back to his Chrysler 300, and he just
Nice.
we're talking about something, and I can't remember what prompted this now, but he made a joke about kidnapping me. Like, he said something along the lines of, "I could just take you," or something. I can't remember. It wasn't
He said
that
he could lift you up. I think he said he could lift you up and put you like in the
something
trunk
like
and
that.
lower
I
you.
don't
It was
remember.
something.
It wasn't that extreme, but it was enough to be like, oh. So me being
What?
me, I was just like, haha, good thing I'm too big to fit in a trunk. uh-uh. For those listening, I am 6 feet tall and I don't fit in most things. So lucky for me, I couldn't fit in a trunk that day.
You had to remind me. You're like, don't even try. Just remember.
please don't, please don't kidnap me.
I'm not little skinny mini. Like it would take work to lift me if I was
It's
just
a
passed
lot of work
out. Or...
to get rid of this body. So just don't. Don't.
That's a big benefit, honestly. Like I thought about that when I'd hike alone in the mountains. I'd be like, no one's gonna look at like a healthy hiker woman of my size and be like, is it worth overpowering her?
You know,
Like probably
this is where being fat like really helps because
not
we're
fat, not fat. We're built.
sure. Either way, nobody's going to look at a 6 foot tall woman in my size and be like, "That's easy to kidnap. I'm going to take her." No,
No, you would punch them in the face and knock them out.
yeah, and then I'd sit on them until the police got there. This guy was also like six
He was
four,
big.
6'5",
He was a
two
huge dude.
seventy five. Like he was not a small person either. But I'm also not. Anyway, so I remember doing this because it was when I vaped. And I said, just give me a few minutes. I'm just going to take a few drags from this and then I'll get in the car with you. And he says, okay. And he gets in the car. And that's when I texted you, Mallory, where I was like, you know, if you'll hear from me in 20 minutes, call the cops or whatever I said to you. I can't remember.
I forget what you said, but you're like, yeah, this is getting creepy. I was like, well, let me know if
This
you need
guy is
anything.
creepy. I'm texting you. And so anyway, I get in the car and it's dark. And I'm like doing this with my hair, taking out the little strands, the little stray strands, and just kind of casually dropping them in a car because I'm a true crime girly and I know they're going to want DNA. And if I go missing, the first person they're going to come knocking on is this guy's door because that's who I'm with right now. So I'm just leaving my hair in this guy's car like a totally normal person would.
Hey, you're thinking ahead, you know.
So we get in the car. I don't know what to talk to this guy about anymore because I just want to get back to the car. I am literally praying to any fucking deity available that this man delivers me to my car and doesn't just drive me to a his home or you know whatever.
Sex
Never
traffic.
go on a second location. Like so, red flag. Clouds up.
I mean,
And
that's more than red flag. That's a warning sign.
and it goes from being like kind of hilarious how bad this date was to scary really fast because he made that
Yeah.
trunk comment and that's what said that was like when I was like oh god like because before this it was like yeah I'm just never going to talk to you again after this it was like do I need to call the police. So on the way there we're on the highway, he's driving like a fucking maniac. Like I just don't like bad drivers. Like I'm my baby daddy was a very aggressive driver. This guy was an aggressive driver. I didn't feel comfortable or safe. And he starts talking about like TV shows, like what are you into? And at the time I was like watching Mrs. Maisel, which is like a comedy and it's cute. It's about a mom, you know, who does comedy and it's very cute. And he goes, are you into American Horror Story? And I was like, not really. I don't really get into horror shows like that. Like I'm into true crime and stuff like that, but I'm not big into horror. And I stopped watching after like the first season or something. And he was like,
yeah, it's not.
he said something. It was like he was like, why do you think the theme of rape is so common in that show? And I was like, I don't know. I don't really watch that show.
That's
And just
so
kind of like
creepy.
let it hang. Because at that point, I was like, this guy is full on planning on doing something terrible to me. He's gonna steal me. He's gonna assault me. Like all these things are going through my head at this
That's so
point. Just like, oh
scary.
my god. And so I save the park and ride, right? And I'm like, thank fucking god. But my car is by itself. And it's
Oh
the
yeah.
only car in there. And I was like, fuck. So he's gonna have an opportunity to get out of the car. He's, I don't know. I don't know what he's planning on doing. So
That's
we
scary.
drive into the park and ride, and just as we make that turn, a cop turns into the park and ride and parks in the very corner, like way far away. And I was like, oh my god, this is the only time I've ever been happy to see a cop in my life. Holy
Oh my
shit. If
god.
he tries to
Yeah.
steal something, I can just run at that guy or start screaming or something. I was just like, oh my god. So, okay, we were talking about the 12th house earlier, and that my Jupiter is in the 12th house. It's the guardian angel. This is what I read. I have the guardian angel where things just
Oh.
work out at the very end. This was a guardian angel moment for me, who just said this cop needs to go over there right now because this bitch needs some fucking help. Because I swear to you, if there wasn't a cop there, I really think something would have happened.
That's
So
so
he goes,
scary,
he
dude.
parks like 10 spaces away from my car for some reason. Like he doesn't park next to it or in front of it. He parks like 10 spaces away. We get out. He
Wow.
gives me the longest hug. And it's like close, and he's like bear hugging me, and like
Ew.
you could
Ugh.
tell he wanted like some kind of kiss or something, and I'm like, no, thank you. Oh, this is such a nice time. And he's like, we should do it again. And I was like, yeah, we're totally gonna do this again for sure. You are so fun. Wow. Oh my god. And then I just like quickly walk to my car, immediately lock all the doors, and head home. Of course, I was almost out of gas, so I thought I was going to run out of gas on the way home. It was the worst day. It was the worst fucking day.
That was
And that
stressful as
cop, I
fuck.
really believe that cop saved me from something terrible happening.
Because he maybe would have pursued more than a try if you rejected him, like something
Maybe
like
so.
that.
He might have gotten violent. Like, there's so many things that could have happened if that cop hadn't just happened to be in that parking lot. And they were
That
probably
worked out.
there checking out my car, making sure that it wasn't some drug exchange or something because I have a shitty car. I
Yeah.
don't know. They make
Probably.
assumptions.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
the one shitty Honda sitting there in a park and ride, yeah, they're going to go look at it. Anyway, so thank God I had a fucking shitty car. Thank God that cop was there. To end this story, ultimate red flag, 8 months later, this guy finds me on Facebook and tries to request me my friend.
8 months, dude. That's no. I think there's something like you are cute, but this dude's fucking crazy.
That's true. I am adorable and I get it, but also maybe don't make
He
jokes
was
about
attractive.
his.
He was pretty attractive. I remember the
He's
picture
a
of
good
him.
looking guy. He's a black man. He was tall. He was in shape. He was into like theater and going to see shows, and like we had a similar taste in music, and like for all intents up until that date he was completely fucking normal, and I really thought we were like gonna go somewhere. But then he was really fucking insane and took me to a children's bookstore and then talked about rape on the way home. Like, what the fuck is wrong?
You don't bring up rape on a date like that, or ever.
Maybe don't talk about rape on your second or third date or first date. Just don't do it.
Jesus.
Oh,
Yeah.
all of that being
I mean,
said, and that was a very long story, but I would just be tickled if we could get people to write in their own bad date stories that we could read on the show, and we could
that'd be
do.
hilarious.
So this is kind of my segue to saying, send us your bullshit stories. I want to read them. I want to hear them. Tell me about anything. Like, fucking contact us. bewitchsoak@gmail.com. Send it. I want to hear about it. And that's my
Bwitch
Dr. House
soap.
story. Bewitch Soak! Okay, so to
So which?
close us out,
Okay.
let's do the Moon Slut tarot reading. So
Should
you
I
can talk
do one?
about. Yes. So we can talk about the full moon happening soon and then do a collective reading before we wrap it up.
Yeah. So, yeah, January 3rd, we are having the full wolf moon, and it's in the sign of Cancer. Even though we are in Capricorn season, the moon is in Cancer. So, yeah, January 3rd. I think it's Saturday. It's a Saturday, I believe. Maybe yeah. So I think it'd be fitting because Cancer is a water sign. And since we talked about the story of going to Saratoga, this is the deck I got. The Healing Waters Oracle. So it's not a tarot deck, it's an oracle deck. And it's very interesting because it talks about just different forms of water. And it's really pretty. And we'll do our collective reading. I forget what the wolf moon represents. I think it means it's just like the first full moon of the year or something.
Look it up.
But I've also been having some like wolf, like I pulled the wolf out of my animal deck recently, so it makes me wonder what it's representing.
The first full moon of the year occurring in January, named for the howling of wolves heard during cold winter night.
That makes sense.
So it's about timing, which is kind of synchronistic. What's the word? Kind of a synchronicity for us because we've been talking about divine timing a lot lately.
A lot of timing stuff. Yeah.
It represents introspection, instinct, and community. Other names include the cold moon, the frost exploding moon. That's cool.
I've heard of it.
The frost exploding moon. It is often a supermoon and will be in January. January 3rd, 2026.
Do we know when it peaks, at what time? I always like to put it in my phone at what time of day.
Peak wolf moon, Colorado, 2020.
I think this moon is going to be particularly strong for me because my North Node is in Capricorn, and we're in Capricorn season, and my South Node is in Cancer. So it means that my past lives have, like, basically accomplished all the things of Cancer, and my life path is to embody more Capricorn. So what did you see? What time it goes?
Okay, well, let me give you some fun little, because there's synchronicities, right?
Yes, let's hear it.
So it's going to happen on January 3rd, 2026. 1, 3, 2026 is 1. So 1, 3, 1. And it's going to peak at 3:03 a.m.
No way! Are you serious? This moon is going to be crazy.
For our listeners, for context, 313 has been Mallory's main synchronicity. This number seems to happen fucking everywhere. It's in places you wouldn't even think. It's crazy. And then
I have it tattooed now.
Yes, show your tattoo.
Is it showing?
Yes, there it is.
So my friend John's Magic Tattoos, he works out of Loveland, did that. He's amazing.
John's Magic Tattoo. We're going to give him a little butt plug. John's Magic Tattoo. Find him on Instagram. He's phenomenal. He's also done this one on me. His fine line of work. Just mwah. Okay.
Yeah.
Back to the moon. Okay, so 303. So really kind of any rendition of the threes. 30031, stuff like that.
Yes.
And then I started seeing it. So I think our fates have very much intertwined lately. So I will give you the floor to do this reading.
Well, I was trying to see if I was like gonna get my period on that day, but I'm not. So I'm not a red witch yet.
I am.
In due time. In due time. So yes, I pulled the card out of this deck while we were talking. This is our collective reading, right? Immerse yourself. How's it look? Immerse yourself.
It's a bit blurry on my end, but I think it'll clear up in the recording.
So
Pretty.
basically, it looks like the woman dancing underwater, like has Atlantis vibes. There's like a book
Ooh.
opening above her head. You see like just lots of coral and watery vibes.
Coral.
Immerse yourself. It says training, learning, new hobbies, and passions. Ooh. I'm not kidding, open right to it. I opened it. That's it. This is the message. That's crazy. Isn't that crazy when that happens? This huge book. I mean, it's pretty big for like a tarot or oracle deck. And I opened to that page, the one we pulled. Come on, you can't make this stuff up, right?
Can't make this shit up. So this is a
You
collective
can't
reading.
make it.
For anyone that hears this, take what resonates, leave what doesn't, all the things I say on TikTok.
Yeah. Yes. It's just what it means to you. So yes, training, learning, new hobbies, passions. Immerse yourself. Follow your desire to study and learn. Dive into what fascinates you. Immerse yourself in the topic that captivates you most. Maybe there's something you're passionate about that you're called to deepen your knowledge of thorough study or learning. We were kind of talking about that, like on astrology. I'm still like learning so much.
Yep.
Uh, or something you want to experience more fully. You're being encouraged to increase your wisdom and experience life in a deeper way, to follow your passions and embark on some kind of higher, deeper learning. What are your interests? What would you like to learn more about? What topic fascinates you? What could you talk or read about without getting bored? Which field are you most interested in? What makes you come more alive?
Ooh.
Maybe you're being called to consider a new career or explore the possibility of training in a new field. Maybe you're being called to simply surrender your passions and dive even deeper into them in your spare time. I really am leaning into that lately. Like I'm trying to like deepen all of my it's so nice because sociology and astrology and social work and psychology, all of it is very intertwined,
Mm-hmm.
so I'm able to like mix my woo woo and my work, and it works, and I love it. And same with you.
But yeah,
So,
massage
and I
yourself.
have been exactly, and I've been kind of considering getting my doctorate, and maybe this for me personally, maybe I should think about it again, or if that would just
Hell
be too
yeah,
much.
girl.
We'll see. I'll think about it. I don't. I have to settle down first because my life has been so chaotic the last so many years in the process of leaving my long term relationship, the father of my child. It's a lot. So, um,
It takes a
oh
long
yeah,
time.
yes. There's one little paragraph. Okay, education, whether traditional or experiential, can be never be taken away from you. Knowledge can open the mind and light up the soul. What do you want to understand more deeply? Is there something you've been considering studying, whether it's in a structured way or more experientially? If there's a course or program you're interested in, maybe explore that. Is there something you're longing to explore in yourself? What piques your interest? What could you learn about without ever getting bored? And then the soul inquiry is, what interests you or makes you come more alive? It's
What
on
makes you
page.
come?
What's that?
I said, what makes you come?
What makes you come?
What
So
makes
you
you
seem
come?
surprised that I didn't jerk off as much as you do. Do you want to share with the class how much you jerk off? That's funny.
Hey man, I just take what I can get.
I really don't jerk off as much as a lot of people do, but I have like a session when I do. You know what I mean? Like I make a whole thing out.
It like comes in waves, you know. Like sometimes I'm
Yeah.
like, fuck yeah, jerking off is great. Then the other times I'm like, I can wait.
I like how we're saying jerking off, even though women masturbating is not gross at all. Like jerking off,
No,
like dudes like, "Ugh," and then like with us, it's way more
all
attractive. I
hunched
think.
over. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, it's not cute. It's not very cute.
Uh,
Or is it when you heard your ex-husband jerk off in the bathroom?
my
That's
God,
horrible.
I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he would, and we talked about this when we tried to do our first episode, and that was all around that time with the Facebook messages, and I could like hear him jerking off in the bathroom at night.
God, that's
And
so
he's like, no,
gross. And you felt
it's just my phone's weird or whatever. I'm like, yeah.
well, it's lonely. It's a lonely feeling because you don't really want to have sex with him, but he's just jerking off in the bathroom, and then you're sitting there laying in bed like Jesus. This is my relationship. Yeah,
I was laying in bed, co-sleeping with my little, breastfeeding her, hearing him jerk off in the bathroom to another woman. It was great.
that's or a
It was
man. I don't know.
really just, just that's the stuff of life right there. Yeah, yeah, it's great. Great time. Love it. That's why I started getting into tarot, funny enough.
Because you didn't want to hear him jerk off in the bathroom.
Because I think that's probably when I started coming to terms with the fact that I was miserable in that marriage. So I was like, yeah, this isn't it. This is not it.
Because like, yeah, it's hard because it's not the fact that he's just jerking off by himself. Like that's a healthy thing to do in a relationship, even if you're in a long-term or short-term relationship, polyamorous, monogamous. It's okay to jerk off, but the fact that he did it in this weird, secretive way and had no emotional intimacy with Jamie whatsoever, barely parented, did anything. So she's just alone all the time, and then just
I
gets
was
to
alone
hear him.
raising our kids. I was
Yeah,
alone raising our kids during the day, and helping him start his business. And that was my entire life. I had no time for myself at all. And then to just like, it honestly still makes me feel a little ill thinking about that time. And I should probably revisit that and like process it more. But I forgot about that. I forgot that I could hear him jerking off in the bathroom to that girl. And when I found out, who he was talking to, just having the audacity to be like, well, uh, my phone gets wet during the day and it just opens Facebook and texts random people or whatever he said. Like, no, dude, he must think I'm fucking stupid.
I don't think he thinks you're stupid. He just thinks
I'm,
he can get away.
I fucking have him down so hard. And even, I think I still do. I don't think he's changed that much, even though he feels like a stranger to me now. But that exchange on Christmas Eve when he and his wife came to pick up the girls, I could tell that he thought that interaction was fucking awkward too.
He's
Listen,
not like, yeah, he
okay,
knows.
so just for everyone to know, I am contractually obligated to not say anything disparaging about my ex-husband. So I will be
That's
focusing
interesting. You
this
have
of
that.
my disparaging remarks towards his wife. What is that noise?
What's it sound like?
Oh, I think it's just noise, airwaves or whatever. But I don't know how much of that I want to include because we need to wrap it up.
Oh,
But um, oh, you have a cookie? Fuck you. I want a cookie.
I
Maybe
was
I'll give
getting
you.
hungry.
I'm getting hungry too. I have Indian food. Like warm up. I'm excited.
Ooh,
All right, so let's close this out. Uh, I don't know if I have any takeaways or lessons from this, but I would like to leave our listeners with a spell of the week. and I think it's pretty apropos that we do a protection spell. So I'll just dive right in. It's a super basic thing. You can do a protection spell without any ingredients. You can use a jar and fill it with stuff. The point is intention, intentionally clearing the energy, intentionally saying, whatever I do next is protected divinely by my own energy, by the energy of my deities, by the energy of my ancestors, however you want to phrase it.
Your animal familiars.
Your animal familiars, exactly. Something that Mallory and I both really like to do is spell jars. So we'll take a jar. I've got one right here, like this, and we'll fill it with cool stuff, like Himalayan pink salts or regular table salts and lavender and rose petals and whatever. And of course, those ingredients have basic meaning. But the whole fun thing about spell work is it's exactly what you make it. You know, it's witchcraft isn't like I'm going to cast a spell on you and force an outcome. No, it is learning to harness energy that already exists around you and manipulating it to bring you abundance or whatever. So before you do any of that,
and peace.
Exactly. And before you do any of that, just make sure that you're protected, that your energy is protected, that you're not inviting anything negative or whatever. And we can talk more
It's
about
really,
that maybe in later
exactly.
episodes.
It's really leaning into your intuition. Like it's known magic from your bloodline. Like it's stuff that feels right to you. Like follow that. Like if this candle is the color I want. I burned like a yellow candle, for example, last night. And each color has a meaning, and I like meditate on the meaning and how it relates to what I'm looking for, and then I pull a couple cards and put it with it, and I kind of like rearrange my altar around that. Like it's just, but it's whatever feels right for you. Like I just follow that. Nice. Yeah.
Exactly. And it can be something like that you do every day, like cooking dinner. You're going to weave positive energy into the meal that you serve to your family, or you are really pissed off at somebody and you just need them to shut the fuck up. You can do that too, and purely with intention and manifestation. Throw them in the freezer. Maybe I'll do that next week. We'll talk about freezer spells next week. But no matter what you do, always start it with some kind of protection, and always end it with a thank you, because practicing gratefulness is like the cure for depression, in my opinion. Stopping and noticing the things that you have, and being thankful for it. Gratefulness, it really does instill a certain level of calmness in your life.
Yeah, that was. See, you always say things so well.
Thank you. I feel bad because, like, anybody who watches this, they're gonna think I got beat up, but really, my lips have just been so dry these last couple days. Yay, Colorado! It looks like I got beat up, but it's like bloody.
I don't think that's what it looks like. Just so you won the fight.
I won. You should see the other guy. It's just air. So for the next episode, we can dive more into spell work. We can talk more about astrology. I think tapping into perhaps we can have a guest. We don't really know yet. We don't really have a plan for episode 2 yet, but